Welcome to the Rise to Shine podcast with Noelle Kustas, where we ignite the spark to discover your favorite self. It is time to get real, ladies. Hello, and welcome back to the Rise to Shine podcast. I'm your host, Noelle Kustas, and today I just want to have an honest, heart-to-heart conversation with you because lately I've been feeling something stirring in me. Okay, and I'm going to preface this, it's nothing scary. It's not super heavy, maybe slightly. It's just this deeper sense of something shifting, a kind of knowing that I can't quite explain, but I know I'm not the only one feeling it. You know that feeling when you can tell that change is coming, but you can't see exactly what it is yet. It's like the air just feels different. The energy around you feels a little bit softer, a little bit slower, more intentional. It's almost like your soul is whispering, pay attention. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I actually think it's really beautiful because when I look around, and now I'm looking out my window right now, I live in the desert. So it's a little different for us here in the desert. We don't have seasons as you imagine them, but it is fall here. And you can even feel that energy shift here in the desert, even though we don't necessarily have all of the beautiful colors of the trees and all of that. We have a little bit of it, but not as much as most places around the world. But one thing that this season reminds us of is that it's okay to release, right? So, I always think about it. As a matter of fact, last night just did a visualization with our glow up school gals, and we walked through, the tree and when it drops its leaves and how the tree doesn't panic when the leaves start to change colors. The trees don't fight the process, they just let go. And that's what this time feels like for me. It's like this gentle invitation. For some of us, it's an abrupt invitation, but I like to kind of keep it in a calmer sense. It's this gentle invitation to release what is no longer serving us so we can make space for what is next. And I know that can mean so many different things. Maybe for you, it's letting go of the pace that you've been trying to keep up with. The summer, sometimes we slow down a little bit, but we're still like in this fast, fun pace, right? Like you're at the beach or you're living up the lake life and you're in the boats and you're doing this and you're doing that and going on vacation. Um, so it could be just a little bit of slowing down, or it could also be that we are feeling like we need to just let go of some of the pressure to have it all together. I mean, school starts. If you're a mama, you know what it's like when school starts and there's, all of the getting everything together and there's all this pressure to make sure that the routines are in place and everything is moving. That can feel like a lot. Or maybe it's simply just maybe a friendship or a relationship is shifting. Or maybe what you thought of at the beginning of this year is turning out to be a little bit different. And maybe you're starting to outgrow a version of yourself that you weren't expecting. So it's not about something being wrong. I want to make that really clear. It's really about something that is beginning to emerge again. Like you're letting go, but then you're ready to start emerging again. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. It's what I am feeling like a season of a reset. As a matter of fact, for those of you watching the YouTube, I am like in a sweatshirt. I don't really have any makeup on. I'm actually getting ready to say yes to a little bit of a reset of being in nature. I'm leaving later this afternoon and I get to spend a few days in nature with my husband. And I'm really looking forward to this because I feel like this is going to be such a huge part of my reset. And I feel like this can also be a season where things might feel a little uncertain, but underneath it all, something deeper is growing. And man, do I feel that in my bones today. I've been feeling it. So if you've been feeling a little off lately, or maybe you're just feeling super reflective, or like you're in between who you've been and who you're becoming, I want you to lean in. I want you to lean into this episode because you are not alone. So let's talk about how to trust this season, how to find peace in the in between, and how to remember that even when things are falling away, maybe they're actually falling into place. All right. Okay. So I come to you with this episode because I have to say, a lot of people are coming to me, my clients, my friends, family, that are feeling a lot of this right now, this quiet internal shift that is even hard to describe. A lot of people are saying that. It's just really hard for me to put it in words. It's hard for me to describe. And it's not that they're being dramatic and it's not that they're feeling chaotic. It's almost very subtle. Like there's, again, that inner nudge just saying, something's changing, pay attention. And for some women, I'm hearing it's feeling like it's showing up a little bit as a restlessness, that sense of there's more to me than what I'm living right now. But for others, it's a really deep desire to figure it out and maybe slow down a little bit, maybe to simplify a little bit, make space for that peace again. But there's definitely a shift. And for a lot of us, it's both. It's a tug of war between the pull to grow and the call to rest. But here's what I'm learning. Again, this isn't a sign of being something wrong. Because at first I started to question that. But what I'm recognizing, I feel like it is a sign that we are all doing a little bit more awakening. It's your spirit, it's your intuition, your faith whispering that it's time to align your life with who you are becoming. And I think the reason why so many women are feeling this right now is because the world has been so loud for so long. We've been producing, achieving, and holding everything together for everyone else. And now our souls, our own souls, are starting to crave a little bit of stillness. And from what I am connecting with, it's not even necessarily a burnout. Again, I think it's just like this deeper awareness and awakening. It's like this holy pause. And for me, it has definitely been a reminder that I don't have to bloom in every season. Sometimes I'm just meant to get rooted. Is that resonating with anybody? Because I feel like this season can be used as such a metaphor. When I think about this season, I can't help but to go back, like I said at the beginning, and picture a tree in the middle of fall, right? And it's standing there and it's strong, it's rooted, it's grounded, but everything around it is changing. The air feels crisper, the lighting is a little bit softer, colors are all shifting. And as the wind blows, the leaves begin to fall. One by one, they start to let go. And what always strikes me is that the tree doesn't fight it. Just like I said earlier, it doesn't panic. It doesn't cling to its leaves or, freak out that they're starting to drop. It doesn't rush the process. It doesn't worry about anything because it trusts the season. It's been through this before. It knows that shedding isn't the end. It's part of the cycle. It's making room for new life to grow when the time is right. And I think that this is such a powerful reminder for us as women to be the tree, to be rooted and to be grounded and to not panic, to not feel scared because we're all going to go through seasons where it feels like things are changing. where parts of us are falling away, where we feel exposed, we feel uncertain, or we feel in the in between. And just like that tree, we can't always see what's coming next, but we have an inner knowing that there is going to be change and it is going to be okay. So I want you to think about what it might be that you're going through or what you're resonating with. Is it a change in your home life or your work? Is it that your priorities are shifting? Your heart is maybe being pulled in a different direction. Maybe you've outgrown something that you once prayed for and you're not sure what that means. Whatever it is, I want you to remember this. Letting go doesn't mean losing something. Excuse me. Doesn't mean losing something. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Sometimes it's just simply clearing space. Sometimes it's just God saying, you don't need to carry this anymore. And sometimes I feel like it's the quiet preparation. It's like there's something more beautiful that's waiting to bloom on the other side, but you just need time to prepare for it. So, in this season, as things start to maybe, shed what's no longer needed, maybe it's an invitation for us to just breathe and to trust the rhythm, to believe that even in the falling, and I use that metaphorically, even in the falling, there's a purpose. So, when I think about what this season might be asking of us, I don't think it's about throwing everything away and starting over. So, I really want to be clear about that. And I mean, maybe you are in that season where you're like, I just need to shed it all and start over and burn it down. But I'm really kind of in a space of feeling like this invitation is not about letting things go completely, but to redefine it. To look at what is in your life and ask what wants to evolve. I've been feeling this in my own life lately, pretty big. I've even felt it within the Glow Up School. I love what the Glow Up School has become. I love the women in it, the community, the growth. But deep down, I can feel that it's shifting. And I can feel that we need to go even deeper and become even more transformational in that space and reach women in a new way. And it doesn't mean that I failed at what it has been. It just means that it's evolving and I'm evolving, and so is my work. So maybe that's exactly what this season is asking of you too. Realizing that it's not the same as it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, and that's okay. And it could even be just like how you're showing up. How are you showing up in your relationships? It's less about being everything for everyone and more about being present and true to yourself. Maybe it's even about how you're caring for your body and moving away from the rules and the routines and into something that actually feels supportive and actually feels joyful. I see lots of you out there just feeling this joy with some of the new routines that you're picking up, some of the things that you're letting go of and starting fresh. It's so fun to watch. And here's a big one that I've really been hearing about lately is about your faith. Learning to connect in a more personal, peaceful way. I feel like that's been something big that's been coming up in conversation. So, this reset doesn't have to look like burning everything down, like I said. It's not about abandoning what you've built or what you have been. You don't have to abandon that. It's about evolving, letting things breathe in your life, letting things expand and becoming more aligned with who you are now. Because as we grow, we gain more wisdom. And that wisdom, that awareness, that's growth. That's transformation in motion. So if you're in a season where things feel like they're changing, don't rush to label it as bad or scary or wrong. It just might mean that you're being invited to go deeper. Think of it as not falling apart. Because, I mean, I'm going to tell you, my mom has been calling me in tears almost on the daily, going, I don't know what's happening. I just feel so emotional. And I'm just, processing this and that. And there's just a lot of things that she's going through. And I'm like, Mom, you're not falling apart. You're falling into alignment. And even in her 70s, she's still aligning because this life is a journey. This life is a journey. Okay. So, you know me, I always love to go into the anchoring part. So, if all of this is resonating with you, if you're nodding along and you're thinking, "Yep, that's exactly what I've been feeling," or "Yeah, I can hear you, Noelle. I feel you. You're seeing me." I want you to take a deep breath with me because this is where we shift from thinking about the change to actually anchoring ourselves through it all. So, the truth is awareness is always beautiful, but it can also feel wobbly, and we can easily slip into overthinking everything, trying to control it, trying to fix it, or we're like, hurry up, I just want to be clear on everything, right? Sometimes it takes time. And you don't have to fix everything right now. You just need to stay grounded in it. Just keep your heart and mind open to it. And here are going to be a few ways that you can do that. Just gentle, simple anchors. You know, I love giving you tools, tangible tools that you can walk away with and stay centered as you're evolving. So, number one is create a quiet space. Start with that stillness. Even if it's just 5 minutes of silence in the morning or before bed, that can change everything. Trust me. Sit and breathe and ask yourself, what feels heavy right now for me? What feels ready to shift with me? And you don't need the answer. You just need space for the truth to really rise. And God will speak to you in those moments. He'll speak to you in the quiet. And then I have really found for me, journaling, this is honestly where I don't just journal the events that are happening, but I journal about how I'm growing through stuff. How am I growing? How am I changing? Try journaling what it is you're learning, or maybe even what's surprising you. What are you feeling called towards? Because you're going to be amazed when we're, hoping for clarity and we're like, I just want to know. That's where clarity starts to come in. And then you start to see that evolution on paper, which is really, really cool. Make peace a priority. And man, am I talking to myself right now. These podcasts, a lot of the times are for me, or they are because I'm going through something. So I need to talk through it and have it be a gentle reminder for me. This is one of them. Making peace a priority and asking myself daily, what would bring me peace today? Sometimes that answers rest. Sometimes it's just finishing something that's been hanging over my head. Sometimes it's saying no. And oh my gosh, I've said no to two really big things recently, which has felt very uncomfortable. But in the end, when I look back and I go, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful I said no to that because I needed this rest. I needed this time to fill my cup so I can pour out to my family and to my clients. And the more you choose and practice peace over pressure, the more naturally it becomes a rhythm for you. And I'm leaning in on that. I'm going, okay, it's like growing a new muscle. I am learning to say no when my intuition is like, Noelle, you're saying yes because you think that's what you're supposed to do, but deep down you really feel like it's a no. And then you become resentful because you're tired, you didn't get things done that you needed to get done. You know what I mean? So I'm really working on that one. I also want to say stay curious instead of critical. Ooh, this is big for women. When change starts happening, our first instinct is often to judge it. We say, why can't I get it all together? Why do I feel so off? We start to blame ourselves. But what if instead of judging the shift, you got curious about it and you started saying, like, what is this season trying to show me? Because being curious, oh my goodness, you guys, it is starting to invite so much grace into my life. And somebody told me that grace always grounds growth. And I was like, ooh, I like that. Grace always grounds growth. Think about that. And then su- surround yourself with supportive energy. You don't have to walk through this season alone. Find people who remind you of your light, not the ones who dim it. Okay. And that might mean your friends. It might mean that you need to grab a mentor. You need to lean into your faith community or joining a space that makes you feel like your light is not having to be dimmed, because awakening with other women is also very powerful. And then celebrate the becoming. Even if things are feeling uncertain, celebrate the fact that you're aware. Somebody said that to me the other day. They were like, Noelle, I'm so proud of you because you're catching yourself before you spiral. You've like hit a tipping point and you can either continue to grind or you can go, nope, I'm aware of this. I know this pattern. I'm going to pause now and I'm going to catch myself, because that means you're listening and you care enough about your life to pause and realign. So think of that. Think of how much you've grown, because maybe that is not something that you ever really did before. That is worth celebrating. That's worth honoring. And it's not about being perfect. I always want to share that with you. It's just about being present. And you don't need to master all of those anchors. Just think about what resonates for you and your safety and your well being and your nervous system. You can go at your own pace. You do not have to compare yourself to anybody else. So, as we close today, I want to remind you of something really important. This season, it's not a setback, it's an awakening. It's not about the endings, it's about beginnings that are still forming beneath the surface. You're being refined. Isn't that cool to like feel like, wow, I'm being refined? It's okay if you don't have all the answers yet. You don't have to see what's next to trust that something different is coming. You just have to keep showing up. You have to keep showing up with your faith, with your curiosity. But most importantly, and I was saying this to my daughter the other day, be soft, be gentle with yourself. Hold space for yourself. You deserve that. Breathe. Remember, you're allowed to shift, to change, to redefine what alignment looks like for you without guilt. You don't have to feel guilty about this. You don't have to apologize for it, because it's not failure. It's actually gross. Gross. No, gosh, was I don't know what kind of slip that was. What I meant to say, it's actually growth. It's actually growth. That's your becoming. And if you've been feeling this pull to reset or to realign or to prepare yourself for something that might be coming and it feels deeper than before, I want to invite you to join me inside of our world, whether it be in the Glow Up School, following on Instagram, subscribing to the podcast, because we're going to be having these conversations and we're going to be learning how to reset and restore and reconnect to peace. And we're going to be having real conversations. I'll continue to give you tools, and there's an amazing community of support. You don't have to ever navigate any of these seasons alone, right? So, you guys, again, I get to head up to the mountains today in nature. I'm going to be putting this all into practice myself. And I would love to hear what this episode stirred in you. What are you releasing? What are you feeling? Are you resonating with this? Do you feel like you're stepping into a new season? I would so love to share and hear, and I just want to be here to support you all. So until next time, my friends, keep rising, keep shining, and remember, today is right here waiting for you. All right, guys. Bye, friends. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining me here today. Your presence means the world to me. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider leaving a rating and review, and don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Head to the show notes and let's connect. Rise to Shine Co. is ready to support you in coaching, collaboration, life tips, or even a coffee chat. Until next time, keep shining, my friends.